Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I decided to rock more of like a curly fro. I just wanted to stretch my hair out a little bit. But anyways, today I am doing a review on the Carbothello Pastel pencils. And you guys, I freaking love these pencils. I've been using it for a couple months now. Again, shout out to my brother and my godbrother because they also got me this for my birthday, my 20th birthday. I'm so fortunate that I didn't have to get this myself because they are pretty pricey. The 64 count is about $80 to $90 for the 64. I did start off with the 24 count, which worked well. If you do want to save money, I would advise you to get the packs with less pencils. And I was doing fine with these, but I would say the downside is that it would be more time consuming to finish your work because you would have to put in that extra step to blend specific colors together to get the exact color that you want. Now, with this thing, let me just open this real quick so y'all can see. It has every color that you can even imagine. Like, isn't that so pretty? Okay, so I do love these. After getting these, it just made it much faster to finish my work because I was having trouble, blending colors together and whatnot. So I'm gonna be swatching these for you guys, okay?
Okay, so I'm going to be making a couple of swatches for you guys. I'm just going to show you how it looks with different pressures applied and just show you how pigmented it is, how soft the pastel is. What I do recommend when using these pencils is to layer and first create a thin layer of the pastel and then work your way up and just keep adding more on top of it. This will help avoid creating those very unwanted little white dots and spaces that are not filled when you're shading in or coloring in your drawings, okay? As you can see, to get a pretty good, very well shaded in box, it does take a while. Obviously, it would be much easier if you had the cylinder, the sticks of pastel. I feel like it does take a bit longer to shade in because they are pencils and just the tip doesn't cover a lot of surface area when you're shading in, just because the tip is so fine and it's just very small, especially when you're working on large canvases. Here I am just creating a thin layer of pastel while using less pressure. And now I'm going to do pretty much the same thing on the last box, but I'm going to be blending in with my finger. Now, I personally do not recommend blending with your finger because, first of all, it can get a bit messy, and I just don't like having the color on my fingers because I could accidentally transfer it to an unwanted area on my canvas. Also, when you blend with your finger, it makes the color less pigmented. Now for the line quality, I think because these pencils are just so pigmented, the line quality is spectacular. It goes on very smooth. I feel like if you just want to have the best line quality, definitely keep your pastel pencils sharpened. I'm going to shade in an object, more specifically a circle, and just give it some dimension and just show you how it blends in and how I can easily just create a gradient by just applying less pressure or more pressure of my liking. It was very easy to do. There was no need to use my fingers. Now, the main thing that I love about these pencils is that when you're blending two colors, it doesn't matter which color goes first. So say if you're using a very dark colored pastel first, you can still easily blend in the light color when applying it on top. So I thought that was really like amazing, just because I know a lot of artists have experienced blending in two colors. You would usually have to go in with the lighter color and then build the darker color on top of it. But in this case, it really does not matter. It blends well either way. So another thing I want to mention is the importance of the paper that you're using with these pencils. So I made this mistake when I made one of my drawings. It is the drawing on the left. This is, I believe, just regular drawing paper. I thought that it would be not an issue. I did not realize how important it was until I actually started drawing on actual pastel paper. From my experience with the gray drawing paper is that the color is not as pigmented. Also, when I was drawing on the paper, it would sometimes actually rip through the paper, which caused a lot of issues because sometimes when you rip through the paper, some of the pastel will literally get stuck there and you can't erase it. It's just gonna be there forever. Another thing is it's just not as pigmented and it is a bit harder to blend. On the pastel paper on the right, on the other hand, I had no issues with it. It drew on very well. The color definitely is more pigmented. It was able to hold more product on the paper. So on the drawing paper, really when I would shade, a lot of the product would just be on the surface, but it wouldn't actually be drawn on the paper. But for pastel paper, it holds on to the pastel very well and it just picks up more product, so you're not wasting as much product as on the drawing paper. Also, when you're done drawing with pastel, I recommend you setting it with some kind of setting spray just to keep it from smudging. The thing about this setting spray is that you can still go back and draw and edit your drawings even after spraying it. Lastly, I just want to show you guys the kind of paper that I have used and I feel works well with pastel paper. Okay, so first, obviously, I have the pastel paper. This is the Canson brand. It is the multicolored one. They also have a grayscale one if you guys are interested in that. The paper that also worked very well, it's not specifically for pastels, but I think watercolor paper works very well just because there are little ridges in the paper that allow it to hold on to more of the pastel product. And so if you just ever run into the issue of, your store no longer has pastel paper, you can opt for getting watercolor paper and it'll work just fine. Lastly, I have another Canson brand, mixed media. It works with almost everything, so mixed media is always well if you are into other styles of drawing as well and you just want paper that will work with everything. I have tested on this paper and I do think it works very well with pastel, so I do recommend using this paper.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I'm gonna link down everything that I use in this video down below, and don't forget to subscribe and follow me on social media. Thank you guys so much. See you guys later.